Okay, and we are live. My first lesson. I've been thinking about lessons for it would be Grifter University for the LTV show. But be on time is one of the life advices I would give and I would give advice to men and women because I have advice for both. So be on time though, be on time and judge people and feel free to judge people who are not on time. That's a life lesson. Like if I had listened to my own advice, first of all, I would have been here. I was out at the park playing fetch with Sumi, but I would have been here and it would have been the right thing to do because I scheduled the show early, actually at 4:30 instead of 5, because I'm going out to dinner with my wife. Go out to dinner with your wife. That's my life advice too. Go to nice places. Save money in other ways. I'll tell you how to save money. I've some of my advice. See, I'm afraid people would think it was anti-Semitic because I would say think like a Jewish person, but in the nicest, least anti-Semitic way possible. Just in the sense that you're good with money, be good with money. Don't spend it all on, on fancy cars, for one thing. People will be listening to me. You guys will see. People will be clipping my life advice pretty soon. I have advice for women too, though. After watching that clip, I was thinking about it. So I'll give you that. It is January 6th. It's a national holiday today. January 6th, the day democracy almost died because of a guy in a Viking cap. But those guys are being persecuted. So actually, I've been speaking with, can I reveal? Yeah, because I won't even say who it is. I've been speaking with a January 6th and might be getting them on my show. And if I do, it would be a controversial January 6er. But January 6 people have definitely been persecuted unfairly. I mean, all things considered. But on the other hand, some people say January 6th wasn't that bad. But maybe it wasn't great too for those people. So I agree though that people overreacted to it. But at the time, we can go through and gonna do something new on this show today to see about maybe welcoming on content creators or other people who are trying to get attention for things by opening up the StreamYard today. So we might have some people join us. And I see people saying happy January 6th, happy January 6th. We should celebrate. I mean, just to troll people, right? Just to troll people, it's funny because it wasn't that bad. That's the thing. It wasn't that bad, and they want us to think like it was the worst thing of all time. But it wasn't great either. I have some footage I can show you. People, when they want to dismiss it, they show the footage that's really benign. But there's footage that's not that flattering to the people who participated. And it wasn't all feds. It might have been some feds. I mean, you could pretty much say definitely it was some feds. Because the feds are involved in everything. Feds in my chat right now. Feds in my Discord. Feds in my Telegram groups. Feds follow me on Twitter. You can't get rid of the feds. So there were definitely feds involved. And that guy, Epps, probably a fed. I have a clip about that too. So thanks for the super chat, Norman Smith. Who says J6 was an FBI setup? See my footage. Okay. Well, you have a chance if you're like a content creator to join this broadcast later on. Oh, see, and if you say you're not a Fed, that's what Feds say. So don't even try that. Don't even try that. Oh, come on. You know, I'm not a Fed or whatever. I'm not going to just automatically buy that. I've had too many problems. Mostly not with Feds, though. I try not to get in trouble with them. I try not to get in trouble with the Feds the same way I try not to get in trouble with the Jays, too. I don't want to be in trouble with the Feds or the Jays. So I don't want to seem like too much of a threat to any particular system. Like, hopefully they just think I'm joking all the time. So that's what I'm trying to convince them of. So this is for entertainment, not to plan any revolution or anything. We think it's all a joke. And in fact, that we pretty much, like, everything is like a holographic projection anyway. So in fact, it's all meaningless, like whether McCarthy gets to be Speaker of the House or not. It's like, what avatar do you want to play this character in this thing? Like, you know, Andrew Tate gets arrested the day after Greta Thunberg nails him. The greatest tweet of all time. And we're supposed to think, oh yeah, it's just like normal. No, it's not normal. You're in the right place. All right, so we'll talk about January 6th. We'll talk about some other things. We'll invite some people on the show. We'll do what's expected of us here on the Lift the Veil program. If you want to support the show, check this out. I just learned. So I am this Grifter University thing. I have ideas. I have advice. I have advice for incels. I have advice for people for how to get women to like you. That's like not even hard. I have advice for how to buy a car. I can give advice on that. Always lease new cars. I talk about gift giving advice. Talk about what the kind of things to spend money on. Talk about eating $1.50 hot dogs, taking your whole family out for $1.50 hot dogs and soda on a weekend as a thing that you do, and then buy things at Costco as a thing. Make it a family event, and you'll be serious. I tell you guys all of that on this show. So thanks for tuning in. This is the Lift the Veil show. Oh, I'll tell you guys about the Hustler University, what I found out today. I'll tell you that in 1 second. But be on time. Because you know who's late? Drug addicts and alcoholics are late to things. And I'm neither of those. So that, you know, there's something else wrong with me, but it is true. Be on time to things, if I can give you advice. Okay, let me see if my volume's right. Always be prepared. Dress appropriately.
Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. what it is. Joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. I bring you the news, the real news. Okay, I'll give you the secret. You want to act like a pimp on a budget? Go to the most exclusive, most expensive restaurant that you can get a reservation for and order the cheapest thing on the menu, which is usually a hamburger. Okay. Like a hamburger at the burger stand is like $15 here in California. There's a place nearby. It's in the ghetto and you get a burger that's not that great. It's like $15 and a beer is like $4. But you go to the night, we went to a really nice restaurant at Christmas and I noticed the hamburger there was like $25. $25. So that's only, 66% more. It's not that much more than the $15 burger. And yet the experience was great. Like my wife was really impressed with where we went. Like, oh, this place is amazing, etc. It's so nice here. And I was like, wow, I could get away with this pretty cheap if I wanted to. I still didn't do that, but I'm saying for life advice, do that. It just, girls like fancy things. Girls like, they want you to have money and stuff. Pay for things, etc. Don't let anybody tell you like, oh, women are equal and like you should split the first date or anything. I would tell you that. Always pay for the first date. For sure. Tell her she can get the next one if you want to be clever. But they want you to provide for them. They want you to have money. So I have to take my own advice. That's the thing is if you want to help me provide, if you want, this is a good one, make me more attractive to my wife by becoming a member and then I can give you advice for how to make yourself more attractive by becoming a member at buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. And it's only $7 a month. And I'm going to share, like I realized with buymeacoffee.com, it's the same as Substack. I can post things there. And send them exclusively to people who've given me money before. And there is information that I have that I'm sharing publicly. It's just not even advisable. Okay. So it's good for me to have a way to share information privately with people who care about me. And so people who donate to me on buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil obviously care about me. And you can become a member there, a student now it's called, rather than I changed the name because of somebody who called in to the show. And said that they tithe to their church and they felt like it was wrong. So student now. But I can share private information with you there. I can also do that via Substack. So it's kind of, every system is kind of the same in a way. It's just a way to give people money. But buy me a coffee, there otherwise it would be PayPal. But PayPal is like our Nazis. Okay. To put it, they act like Nazis at PayPal. And we don't like Nazis. See? So you can go there at buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil and they take a very small amount of money, like a totally fair amount of money. It's totally fair for somebody to make money off of my work. And they'll tell you that, like, if you really want to know, like, what wealthy people think, you get other people to do your work for you. So this is what I would say. As part of my Hustler University, my Grifter University. So one thing Andrew Tate did is he got people to share clips of him. Okay. So you could help me out by sharing clips. Like if I say something interesting, which, it's hard for me to know, really, honestly. If I ever say anything interesting, you can clip it
and share it to your social media following or what have you. Andrew Tate did that to great success. He had people sharing many clips of him, and he did interviews and so forth. The other thing you can do, I'll give you guys more advice. Also for the ladies, I was just saying for the ladies, Andrew Tate got himself in trouble. He got banned from Twitter. So after the last show I did, because I think Andrew Tate is not somebody to look up to, basically, based on now what I've seen, which is weird because I watched an interview of him and he was cool, but I didn't realize what he was into. Okay, now that I know what he was into, I just don't think he was that cool, and besides that, you can give people better advice. Well, he didn't even do, he wasn't doing good things with his money. He wasn't even investing in real estate, and he was making millions of dollars a month. He was like leasing cars, just throwing his money away. So hopefully it was, he should have been buying gold and basically hiding. So if he was smart, but he would tell people that too. If he was smart, he would have been buying gold and burying it in a hole somewhere, basically, where nobody could find it. I mean, genuinely, that's about all you can do. Like, to really be safe, if I'm being real with you, crypto is good. It's legit. But if you really want wealth that won't be destroyed and that is yours, then you want gold or silver, right? Basically, gold is the most money per gram. Well, I mean, you can argue platinum sometimes is worth more and stuff, but gold doesn't take up much space, is all I'm saying, per amount of money. Get that, bury it somewhere. That's about all you can do to protect yourself, literally, from everybody. If you want money that's off the grid, take out cash from your bank, go to the coin store where they have silver and gold bullion, and buy silver and gold with cash money. If you buy it with cash money, at least in California, you don't have to pay sales tax. And that's really important. And there is no record of the transaction. You have to write down a name, which is supposed to be your name. But otherwise, the transaction is completely off. If you really want wealth that's totally off the grid and books and so forth, then silver and gold is the only thing that you can do for that. But Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is superior in many, many ways, and does many of the same things. It does many of the same things, some of them so much better that it's not measurable even, in terms of how easy it is to transport, how easy it is to store, etc. But there are ways, I guess. I mean, Bitcoin is good too, though. Bitcoin is good too. Litecoin is good too. He never talked about that stuff. He should have gotten a gold sponsor. He should have had Peter Schiff on his show. Brian Ryan says, I'm not a Fed. It's like, Brian, hey, man, that's what they all say. So forget about trying to convince me. I know what's up. They want to know. Like, oh, who is this? They would say, oh, I'm on my way to being a domestic extremist. This is what their handbooks and stuff say. They say, oh, he said some things that are on the road to becoming a domestic violent extremist. We need to off-ramp this person and make sure that he doesn't become like influential or what have you. So then they have like Fed, or they'll do like gay ops on you, get your channel banned, get your PayPal banned. That's what they do to you. they recognized this channel as a threat at one point. But now they don't think so anymore. Now they don't take me very seriously. That's by design, believe me. You can buy our t-shirts too at truthclothing.io. That's another way we surreptitiously spread the message of truth in like a non-offensive way. Try to be socially acceptable. Don't bring up the Holocaust. Like if I have to give advice, don't bring it up. I mean, really, what good is it going to do? You want to talk about the vaccine? Probably better not. It'd be more comfortable if you don't. I know it feels important, but there are certain things that you should probably keep to yourself. You think the Jews run Hollywood? No, not at Thanksgiving. Even if you're right, even if you're correct, there are some thoughts that that are better kept to yourself. And if you want to talk about them, then form a secret group where you have a death, where the penalty of somebody saying something is death. And unless you have that agreement with somebody, then don't tell them anything. Because even if they're not a Fed, they could turn into a Fed. Okay, I'll tell you that. Even if they're not a Fed, they could turn into a Fed. See, I've had that problem before. They like you. People that like you are the ones that you should be most concerned about because they might not like you in the future. That's what happened to this guy. Andrew Tate, it was his top earner. His top earner threw up in the house and wouldn't clean up after herself. Okay, so here's a lesson. So for Hustler Grifter University, your top earner throws up in the house, so she's not going to clean it up. Okay. You as a pimp have a dilemma. You have to show that your pimp hand is strong and throw her out of the house, or you pay somebody to clean it up and, put her in the penalty box or whatever. Well, he decided to throw her out and she ended up turning on him, right? She was his top earner. And he decided to kick her out to prove a point, and she ended up turning on him. So be careful. Be careful about people that like you, especially because they could become a Fed. You never know. All right, here's okay. Let me show you the good video about January 6th. And we're going to invite some people on the show today. Oh, yeah, I told you guys. Yeah, I'll start posting secret hidden knowledge just to people who've donated to the show, because it looks like it takes your email address too when you go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. But yeah, now that I know I can post stuff, I could share some forbidden knowledge, because there is stuff that's forbidden. Like I said, don't bring it up. Just keep it to yourself. Unless you're on like Cozy TV or something where people want to hear that kind of thing.
The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
Fucking hey, man. Glad to see you guys.
Good evening. 150 days since the worst single act of political violence since the Civil War.
January 6th was worse than 9/11.
Worst act of political violence since the Civil War.
The likes of which I don't think of it has existed since the Civil War.
I think we're in the most perilous point in time since the advent of the Civil War.
I do too.
The worst attack against America's democracy probably since the Civil War.
Unprecedented, at least since the Civil War.
The worst attack on our republic since the Civil War.
The fact is that we faced on January 6th the most serious attack on our democracy probably since the Civil War. This is as fraught a July 4th as the nation has had really since the Civil War. I mean, we have questions that we really haven't asked in a probably since the Civil War.
Most destructive thing to American democracy probably since the Civil War.
Nothing comes close this side of the Civil War.
6 months since the worst attack on American democracy, arguably, probably since the Civil War, and it's still not over.
Now, the White House says the president's also going to say that these laws they're trying to enact in Texas are the biggest threat to voting rights since the Civil War.
Literally, we're facing the most significant test of our democracy since the Civil War. That's not hyperbole. Since the Civil War.
In calling the wave of state voting laws that are upon us the greatest threat to our democracy since the Civil War, his talking about voting rights, the way he did it and the way he defined it,
The most significant test of our democracy since the Civil War.
not just another layer of rhetoric.
All of this is a piece of the same puzzle, John. They are all on the right, creating the biggest threat to our democracy since the Civil War.
The biggest threat to our constitutional republic since the Civil War.
The worst challenge to our democracy since the Civil War.
You and I have had this conversation for well over a month where I've talked about it being the most perilous point since the Civil War.
But at any rate,
Hey guys,
I can't for ice cream.
All right. So that was from Matt Orfalea, who works with Matt Taibbi, who's just puts together videos. That's one skill you could work on, is how to edit videos. If you could edit videos, that is a valuable skill. You could do that for people. And it's possible to learn on your own. I learned how to do it. I made like a really complex film once. As one of my first videos. It is possible to learn. And it's not that hard, especially if you're autistic. Like if you're autistic and you're obsessed with things, then use that obsession for something worthwhile. Like if you know somebody said something and you can get a clip of it, share the clip. You can get popular. I tell people how to get popular on Twitter. Get unique footage. That's one thing you can do. And then if you do these things, people will be attracted to you. Like Brendan Gutenschwager, girls like him. Even if he's a homo, I don't know. But he's like, because he puts himself in the line of fire and stuff. BG on the scene. He got the crucial footage from the Kyle Rittenhouse shooting. This guy like basically kind of saved the world, didn't he? I think he got the footage of Kyle Rittenhouse. So chicks like that. So this guy, even though he lives in his car probably, because he's driving around going places, and I don't know how well he's doing these days. Like this tweet only got 67 likes. But this was his footage. This is just to show that it was kind of bad. That's my opinion. January 6th was kind of bad. I'll play this.
You want to fight? You better believe you got more. Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Holy shit! Get out of here, guys. The whole country hates you, thinks you're scum and garbage.
You should be on our side.
Okay, that's what happened. And I remember, so when it happened, okay, I'm going to drop a link. This is totally experimental today, and I can't stay live for too long. So this will be experimental and kind of short-lived. But I'm going to invite people to the stream real quick. And some people might join. And then we'll just see how it goes. So thanks for tuning in. If you, thanks for there was that one guy who was part of January 6th who was there. And then I can see who joins. We'll try something different. And then this does go out as a podcast. I'll see if anybody left me a coffee. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil, leave a coffee, or become a member, a student now. I don't think anybody did this stream. So it is vitally important, by the way, since we have like a really fringe show. And we can't guarantee how many people tune in from time to time, that you support the show with your cheese, your cash money. Buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. Oh, thanks, Lex Luthor. It says burger chat, LOL. Thanks. And then someone became a member. Thank you for that. You're going to get some really good advice. Oh, I left. The Hoax War said he would join the stream today. And I think Jedi wanted to join the stream. So I'm just trying something new. I'm thinking about live streaming. I'm trying to think of what I can do that's the best, grift. If I should make more videos that go viral, hopefully, to take that crapshoot. Or if I should do more live streaming. I do live stream news sometimes. And I have been doing the Twitter files, which the Twitter files have been pretty good. Thanks, Gifty Sine. Says, Happy New Year. Keep rocking. Your channel is a comfort channel. You're so good. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Advice for women. Okay. I'll give advice for women because I can do that too. Is if a guy hits you, then leave like immediately instead of like I was listening to the story about Andrew Tate, and the girl is like, oh, he hit me. And then we hung out for a while. I drank some wine and then we had sex. And I was like, okay. Then she was like, and then I was doing cam work, which sucked until I got paid. And then I was like, oh, I got paid. It's like, well, bitch, in a sense, right? I'm saying that in the nicest, friendliest way. But seriously, she should have left. If somebody hits you, then leave. Okay. It's not going to get better as well. That's my advice. What do you think, Jedi? Is that good advice for women?
Yeah. When they get out of line, they just need,
no, that's
just a little correcting.
No, I said that they should. Anyway, what's up?
Well, not much.
Welcome.
I'm just kidding. You shouldn't really put your hands on a woman unless she puts her hands on you first. And I
see. And then
if you're defending yourself, I'll
see. In my school, they say it's never appropriate. Never. Even if she hits you first, because she's so small and can't do anything.
I mean, I guess
I would also teach women in my university how to defend themselves. Like women need to learn how to defend themselves.
Okay.
Like they should take Krav Maga or jujitsu or something. So they have a little, and then they should carry around weapons because men are dangerous,
Apex predators, right?
Some of them are okay, but a lot of men aren't. So girls have to be careful.
Yeah.
That's all.
They're easily taken advantage of because, when I guess sometimes it's, they may be like more emotionally driven than like say logically in instances.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I
true.
mean, with this whole Andrew Tate thing, I mean, I would imagine these women probably knew what they were getting into. You know what I mean? But then want to
Well,
play the
yes.
victim.
Well, yes. Two things can be true at the same time. Is, yeah, they should have known better. And that's what I was going to say about what Tate said, is like Tate got in trouble for saying that women should take some accountability for if they get raped. Pretty much is what he said. He got banned from Twitter basically for saying that, is that women, like rape is wrong, but women shouldn't put themselves in bad situations, which actually is true. Like they shouldn't, you know? And so the fact that he got banned for saying that, I know it's always the guy's fault and stuff, but there are ways to avoid being in sticky situations. Like all the Weinstein girls, you know, they all wound up with him. They knew, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing going to a sleazy agent's motel room, you know?
Yeah, the casting couch.
Yeah, I mean, you got to
You know what I mean?
think, you also have to take some accountability. Like, I do think it's true that if you've been like, you can avoid situations. I don't know. It's like if your wallet gets stolen, you could have done something to do, like it was wrong for somebody to steal your wallet, but maybe you should have had your wallet in your front pocket while you were walking through Times Square. You know what I mean? Right.
Correct.
So it's like, it's not, so that's all.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I just want to say happy January 6th.
Okay. So who are these people here? Okay. I shouldn't have done this probably. All right, let's see who Warmonger Bear is. Do you know either of the? I know Super Morbid Obese is the person who just says the N-word. So I don't need to let that person.
Well,
on.
I can't see who all's.
I thought Hoax Wars was going to join. I thought Hoax Wars was coming on. He said he would.
I know he was. I seen he's in the chat, but like I said, right now I'm not even looking at it.
Okay, I have to decide if this bit is I have to decide if this bit is working or if phone calls works better. I'll see what Warmonger Bear has to say.
Oh yeah, okay, I know who that is.
What's up, Nathan? Happy 2023.
Hey, is this Top Feed?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, what's up, Coco? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I like the Hoax Wars pre-show you got going on here.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I look around the internet and I think about what the best things are to do. I was looking at people who have on. But I don't know if it's a good idea having people on. Like I was watching a stream where somebody had some people on, but I don't know if you guys are good enough for the show.
I have a controversial take, though. And before I got on, you kind of brought it up with the casting couch. I was wondering, like, who really cares about the Weinstein thing, right? Like, don't all these girls that, like, have Hollywood in their eyes and, a life of glory, it's like, I don't remember their names, but... the chick that was in, I can't even remember that. I screwed that up. Anyway, but it's like they know what they're getting into, and they were down to...
bipolar one or what? There's the one who's Rose McGowan.
No, not her as much, but the one that was in those Hunger Games.
Oh, okay.
It's like, yeah, she doesn't seem... She took it like a champ. She's like, I got what I wanted out of it. And it's like it's a negotiation there, and I really have a hard time like ginning up tears for these supposed victims that we've only heard one Vice News excerpt of Andrew Tate.
Well, in the extent that he committed crimes, like if he held people against their will and stuff, that's wrong. And also, if he committed rape, which some of the allegations are, that's wrong. So, I mean, there are possibly crimes that he committed, and in the sense that he did, I don't care what happens to him. He was involved in pretty shady business.
Did you see Patrick Bet-David interview him?
I didn't see the interview. I heard him talking about Andrew Tate
after the arrest
on Twitter Spaces. Yeah,
it was pathetic because like that guy generally does a good job, but the way that they're fanboys of Andrew Tate, you're like, Really?
Yeah, I mean, some people
Well, they all
really
protect
are.
their own. You know what I mean?
I don't know what it is. I mean, it's weird how people are like, "Oh, I hung out with Andrew Tate. Like, he's definitely cool." I'm thinking,
He's a top G.
yeah,
Like,
I'm like, well, yeah, people can be great when they're just talking to you. I mean, it doesn't.
Did he let you drive his Bugatti too? Cool.
Yeah, right, right, exactly. Like, and even some of the women out defending him, it's like, she's like, "Oh, I know Andrew. He's not like that." But then there are people who said he is like that. So what are you going to say? I mean, it sounds like and then he said a lot of things that make it sound like he is like that. I mean, he talked about choking women before. So when women come forward and say, "Oh, he choked me," then you think, "Oh, okay, well, he said he likes to choke women, and women are saying he was choking them."
But when they're like, "Oh, he choked me," but then after that, I woke up the next morning with a bit of a hangover, and then we went out partying, and so for the next couple of months it was fine. But then he was mean again. You're like, I don't really care.
That's what I'm saying. For my university, I'd give women advice, like, know when to fucking leave a dude. Like, if a dude's like that, then fucking go. You know, like, don't stay there for more.
If he looks like Andrew Tate, you should probably just bail.
I mean, the fact that he was giving them like alcohol and drugs and then not even doing them himself, that's like red flag.
It's very Eastern European of him.
Yeah. You know, a little
Yeah.
sleazy.
Yeah. All right, Hoax is here. Let's see how this works with 4 people. Oh, okay, there we go. Hey, Hoax.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, that's not Hoax Wars.
You've been hoaxed. No.
Oh, there's something that says Hoax Wars. Let's see if this is him. Is that the real Hoax Wars?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? I just got pranked.
Oh man.
So what do you think? What do you think the best? Okay, let's say we want to make this a successful, because nobody's here anyway, so we can have a conversation.
All right.
It's not, this format is not a good format, it looks like, because the viewers are dropping off, right? So it is a bad format. What should we do to make this channel successful? Hoax Wars, as an analyst of content, what is the best path forward for this show?
Well, there are people kind of doing this panel format and having some success with it, I think, out there.
Which, you mean having people join as guests like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, they must have interesting people joining. People more interesting than themselves, maybe.
Well,
I feel like it's people that just jump in and like they just have like a viral moment, you know? It'd be like somebody that maybe have a following on YouTube and they preach the gospel or preach something about like all the stuff with say Christianity, and then like they let somebody in that wants to go against the grain or just, you know what I mean? That would be something that may get like an uptick, you know, a different, as long as you have like a different opinion than just a whole herd mentality. Yes, we're all in agreement that this is bad. You know what I mean? You're going to only attract people that have that same thought process, you know, by inviting people that may not have the same viewpoint as you, you know, it might, they, you know, like how Hoax brings people to him that may not have known. Like I was brought to Hoax from you. You know what I mean? It's all word of mouth. So like when, say, somebody with influence says, let's go check this out. And then everybody does. And then something happens organically, like with Jim Bob today. Okay. I mean, he was literally, after everything went on, even at like 6:30 my time, he was still live. I mean, he may be live now. And
I know that was like it's a big commitment.
It's sad.
And then is he getting like super chats and stuff?
Literally the last time when I seen that he was still live, the last super chat was a hundo.
Oh, well, that's good.
Up.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
But
so
yeah,
that's cool. People super chat him.
I mean, I didn't want to like blast him, but it's very simple. with Jim Bob, I could say, hey, bud, Jim Bob, you were a bear. You don't really talk to Owen Benjamin anymore. He's not even like he's on unauthorized.tv, but the last time he broadcast on unauthorized TV was literally back in November 2022. So what he did was he grifted and scraped a little of the bears that may not like be so accepting of Owen's, critiques on the Holy Trinity and stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So he goes to like the moderates. He appeals to the moderate.
I don't think anybody watching this show knows who Jim Bob is or who a lot of those people are. So I don't think anybody here knows who those people are.
If you took a controversial
Coco, your sound is terrible.
Fuck.
What is that in the background?
That's my dehydrator. I'm making jerky.
Oh man. All right. So anyway, I was, but I can stream more maybe with guests and stuff. But
yeah, I mean, like I said, like people, the idea that you had tossed about Marcus Conte, okay, that may bring people that subscribe to Marcus Conte to the sphere
nobody
subscribes
to yeah, but nobody subscribes to Marcus Conte. He's a very small creator.
Yeah, it's
like
all a
having
bunch of
Jason
niche
on at this point. Yeah, everybody's pretty niche. So anyway, we got to build up. I have to find people who are interesting, but it's hard.
I mean,
Hoax Wars
if you
found
can get what's his face,
who?
BA, Baked.
Oh yeah, I'll see if he wants to come on. Yeah, I need to do some interviews. Once Cernovich said he would come on the show, but he doesn't do interviews, so I don't even feel bad that he never followed through because I haven't seen him do an interview with anybody. But yeah, I would do more interviews with people. I got to do that.
I think also more if like you can. I mean, I know sometimes everybody loses their cool, but if you can like have somebody that may be trying to go against your thing and you have a healthy debate with them,
Yeah, I want to have Gabe Hoffman and debate him about the Holocaust. I think that would be hilarious. Be good to get Gabe. Yeah, that would be amazing, right? You think Gabe would do that for charity or something?
He should. And
maybe he would. I'm officially putting it out there. Tell him to get together all of his evidence for the 6 million, and then and that would be fine if he just shows me that. I'd really want to see it.
No, that touches on a point because you ask, you're talking about the viability of this kind of format. And what I like about it is that, the other day you were on a stream and it was you and All Seeing You and DeFango and all these people all in the same stream. And these are people that you had beef with in your earlier years in streaming. And you guys all fought and what happened? All the communities split into their own little hives, right? Their own echo chambers, and ended up everyone ended up gang stalking each other. And I think something like this could be a healthy outlet for people that doesn't exist right now. I think you are a unique personality that has a certain tolerance for both sides of an argument, and it could be a platform for people to get some ideas out. And people aren't talking to each other enough.
See, okay. So people do this on Twitter.
Twitter Spaces?
With Twitter Spaces, right? And so Twitter Spaces are interesting because if you have somebody on there with you who also has a lot of followers, then everybody hooks up. So like it would be an interesting place to do an interview because like if I said I was thinking about Cernovich, for example. It's like, what if I could get an interview with him? But then if I did it on Twitter Spaces, then all of his followers, the way Twitter Spaces works is all of your followers can see that you're in a Twitter Spaces, right? And I never talk or anything, but it is like a thing. But there's no grift to it. That's the thing about Twitter Spaces the reason that more people don't do it is there's no grift. There's no donations or anything like that. So it's like basically giving your time away for free, but you can get followers and stuff from it. So, and followers is currency in this social media age. So, but yeah, I was thinking about, but Twitter Spaces is a place where people can get together and do that, but you should have a Twitter account, you know, and like the people I know aren't real big on Twitter, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know some people. I was thinking about getting together a group on Twitter Spaces and maybe making it a big thing. But YouTube, I like YouTube.
Yeah, it's like this with YouTube. The more popular content creators, if they're gonna put, you know, if they're gonna go say to somebody else and without doing research, they're kind of asking for it. But like, I feel like Cernovich or somebody like Alex Friedman, if you were to secure them before you even get them to say yes or no, they're going to like send somebody and like look at your channel, see what kind of audience you bring. You know what I mean? I feel like if you have just like a goofy channel where people's just spamming like ridiculous comments, you'll never get traction on the YouTube platform.
If you have what kind of a channel?
Well, just any channel. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you have somebody spamming the N-word and putting like a whole bunch of controversial comments only like your chat, you know what I mean? Like Cernovich probably wouldn't say, okay, I'm going to go talk to this guy. What's it going to benefit me? I'm going to be associated with somebody that all their chat does is like spam anti-Semitic comments and racist. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. That's why I stay away from that stuff. As
yeah,
much
I mean,
as
it's smart.
possible.
I mean, it is smart if you're trying to harvest, you know, financial.
Well, there's two ways the grift can go. You can either play it straight and stay on YouTube, or you can really go hardcore and go on Cozy, right? And so like I realize how people are radicalized, because if you want to go on Cozy, then you basically want to be like a white nationalist or a Christian nationalist and talk about some other stuff and be pretty racist basically. And I mean, that's like what it sounds like over there. Or you can be kind of mainstream and not do most of those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
so
I mean, it's kind of like how the mainstream media is basically kind of like the way you have your takes. You're not for or against, you know what I mean? They just present the facts, and then you might give, you know, a little tidbit of what you think, but you know what I mean? It's not going to be what you totally believe.
Yes. We try not to share what we actually think on this show as much as possible. We try to keep that like secret, forbidden knowledge. And then we'll share that just with people who donate to buymeacoffee.com/lift.
Yes.
Hoax Wars, what is your memory of January 6th?
Oh man, that's a big topic. That's another reason. That's actually why I didn't call in initially, is because, and maybe that's why other people felt a little timid from calling in, is that's kind of a big topic. And you mentioned you're kind of pressed for time this stream.
No, I'm okay now.
Oh no, we didn't mess up your reservations, did we?
No, it's my wife said she's coming home, so we're not going out. It's just, she says something happened, work closed down early or something like that. So I have time now. Okay. But you notice if we're paying attention to YouTube metrics right now, I should have a lot more people tuned in for the show. So people have tuned out as a result of this, what we're doing right now, which I think is like, this is easier to do than a regular show. So it's no problem to do it, but just being aware of that, being cognizant of it. Thank you, people who are here. I appreciate you. It is experimental. So
yeah.
It is an experimental thing, and it would take it would be the type of thing where you'd have to sacrifice some viewers for a while you built it up and to see if it's viable.
Yeah, I mean, there is the live streaming thing. The breaking news thing is one way to live stream, just not where you just live stream and you're kind of going over content and stuff, and it takes up time and people tune in, and that's a way to get people tuned in. But then, yeah, some people just do live streaming where people tune in to hear people bullshit. But if I wanted to do that, I might have to do it on a different channel or something.
Yeah.
I have another channel. So I have another channel
Yeah.
with like 12,000 subscribers. So I could use that one and do stuff during the daytime. But
I think that's perfect plan. You should try that. And that way you're not messing with this channel. And
yeah, but
and
then
you can work out the kinks there. And then if it seems like a good idea, bring it to the main channel.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see, man.
So what do you think of so what about January 6th, Hoax Wars?
Well, yeah, I don't know where you start. So that's like a big topic, but
what were you doing January 6th? Like when you first found out about it, what did you think about it?
I was watching Baked Alaska's stream on DLive.
You were watching Baked Alaska.
Yeah.
And what did you think when it was going down?
It just seems surreal. Totally surreal. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, are they really doing this? He's really inside the Capitol right now? They're probably going to get in trouble for this, no?
Right. Yeah.
But,
I was like,
yeah,
go ahead. Tell me more.
I was just going to say, from watching Baked stream, you didn't see all the violence and the, you didn't see, it didn't look like an act of terrorism, from Baked stream, but there's footage that came out later that's way different than what you just would have saw watching Baked
Right. And, what happened to me when I saw it, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is insane.
And
that was my first reaction. I was like, oh, this is really bad,
And your first, you first got wind that there was something going on at the Capitol. How? Like, I was watching Baked Alaska stream. What were you doing?
I'm trying to remember if, because I wasn't watching a stream. I maybe started seeing, I don't know if I started seeing stuff on Twitter, but eventually I tuned into Nick Fuentes, but that must have been much later. And then Nick Fuentes was like, it was amazing. I'd do it again and all this stuff. I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know how this is going to go. And then everybody got banned from DLive. So it's like without January 6th, it kind of changed everything. It changed a lot of things because DLive basically, it killed DLive pretty much because DLive is dead now. Even though now maybe they're under new ownership and they've let some people back. Nobody watches anything on there. So, and that basically happened after January 6th. They just banned everybody and then they banned Fuentes. And right, without January 6th, there would be no Cozy, right?
It's probably safe to say because Nick is on record as one of maybe the top earner on DLive, over 6 figures just in lemons, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Him and Owen Benjamin were the top earners on DLive.
And you could see why that would scare, the powers that be.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they got rid of Owen earlier than Nick, I believe. But yeah, it was one of those things. Now, I don't know what to say about Owen. It's like, you don't have to get yourself banned from everything, like you can avoid it. So I don't know.
He's making a statement, and that.
Yeah, I know.
And yeah, what's getting him banned? Whatever you're saying now that you don't think, basically, you're going to be in his shoes sooner or later. Anyone
I'm
who
going
has
to
a-
have issues at some point, you mean?
anyone who has any kind of dissenting opinion.
Yeah, I know. I know. Eventually you're going to be on the wrong side of something. And I am on the wrong side of certain things already, but I don't talk about them much. So I don't really talk much about the vax right now. So I leave that mostly alone. And
Do you want to talk about it?
yeah, definitely. But
well, that must be frustrating as a creator.
yes, it is frustrating. It is frustrating. I mean, it is frustrating the things you can't say for sure. But the alternative is saying the things you want and basically just not having that many people see it,
Yeah.
So that's the alternative. And like basically becoming almost irrelevant. Like what's going on with Ralph? Ethan Ralph is a live streamer who's been banned from everything, right?
Yep.
And now he's down. Now he's on Cozy. He gets what, about 1,000 live viewers?
Yep, over 1,000. Yeah,
over 1,000, which is great. And so he makes enough money probably from his super chats from that to support himself, right?
He seems to do pretty well. Yeah,
he does well with super chats, right? So he's doing okay. But is it the same as it was? Like, does he have the same level of influence that he could have if he was if he somehow played by the rules enough to be on YouTube or something, or even on, I don't know, is he on Rumble?
As far as I know, the only platform I know of that he's on is Cozy, and that seems to be enough for him to make a good living.
Right.
Just through the support on there. And yeah, I mean, I find myself wondering, what would a guy like Ethan Ralph, where would he be if he had never faced any kind of censorship, if they had just let him be, like someone like Howard Stern?
Right. I know. Or like, yeah, I know. I mean, those things are hard to think about because I could think about, oh, well, like, where would I be if they hadn't like censored me? Like people would actually probably know who I was.
When it was left to the people, you gained over 100,000 people, right? 100,000 subscribers. How many people ever do that? How many people can say that? And the only reason you're not growing at that pace, and now the only reason that wasn't exponential is because of an artificial crackdown. They had to manually go in and tell people what they want, because if it was left to the people,
I know
so that, yeah, that's fucked up to think about,
Yeah, this is fucked up. We live in a pretty like, it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair because like I'm pretty good at the whole YouTube thing. I think like I can make good videos and stuff. So it's not fair that I'm not like the things I want to talk about aren't cool. Like you can't, like I think some things that would go viral if it was allowed, but it's not allowed. So I might as well not even make a video about it.
So I know this isn't really on topic with January 6th, but maybe it all kind of ties in. Did you see where Elon Musk says the woke mind virus must be killed or nothing else matters? He said something like that.
Elon Musk said that.
Yeah. And so do you, we can't really know if those are his true sentiments, right? We can't know.
Okay.
Do you get the sense that he's okay?
No, tell me, go again. I was looking at the chat for a second. I'm sorry.
No, actually, we should interact with chat because there's nothing.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to.
Okay.
You said something. I was thinking about something, and then I'll address what people said in the chat. But go ahead.
Okay. Elon Musk.
Yes.
I was asking if you think
my virus.
Yeah.
Do I agree with that?
Do you think he really means it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, what does it mean is another story, but does he mean what he's saying? Yeah, I think he believes that. Like I think he's on a crusade. Like, I genuinely think he's on a crusade, which may as well be religious. He wants to change the world, or he wants to make the world a better place. So
the reason I ask that is because what I see from truthers is that, or whatever you want to call them, oh, big whoop, like Elon is exposing all the stuff that we've already known, that we already knew before. Who cares?
Oh yeah. I brought that up on my last stream about the Twitter files, is how some people, particularly like left-wing independent media, is really critical of Elon Musk, and also like dismissive of the Twitter files, which I think is I think they're just jealous or being petty, basically.
You've
The
seen
people who are saying
left-wing
that.
people.
That's my
Have you-
opinion. But
Have you seen like conspiracy theorist people, truther people, be like, "Oh, I don't really trust in
Yeah.
Elon. We already knew all this stuff."
yeah. Like, they're like, oh, we already. Yeah, I see that. I think those people are being petty, probably more than anything, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I think it is real information. It's just like they're thinking, oh, if it was real information, why didn't I get it? Or why am I not the one who is telling, like, why is everybody getting all this attention? I feel like that's what people think. Yeah, they're like, oh, it should have been me.
Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, so now the richest, most powerful man in the world, he purchased the biggest megaphone you could to stand up and say these things, and that doesn't account for anything.
But
That's-
no, people want to hate, like people want to hate for the most part.
And if that's not going to, if that's not going to, get you enthused, or like that, then what will?
Right. Yeah. And nothing is the answer. I mean, there are people who are like, oh, I am the truth, and unless I came up with it, it's not true, or it's not real, And if I'm not the one telling you, then that's how some people are. So they're always going to say anything that's embraced, people will say, oh, no, it's a fed up or something.
You think we should all rally behind Elon then?
No, not necessarily. I mean, he's still doing the brain chips and stuff, and and he's still talking about social credit score. He's still going to bring in like social credit score and digital ID and all these things because he thinks they're good. So I don't think people should like worship him or celebrate him necessarily, but I don't think people should minimize the Twitter files, or the fact, or that people should just say that nothing's changed. I mean, I think it's ridiculous for people to say that it's not better that Elon Musk owns Twitter now. I mean, it's measurably better in a million ways. So I don't see how you can just be totally mad. He's gotten rid of most of the censorship on Twitter. He's brought back all these accounts, So I mean, it's way better. It's way better than if it had remained the same. So you have to give him credit for that. But I also don't think, I also would sell Tesla stock. I think Tesla could be I think Tesla could be having, could have serious financial problems. I think they may have committed fraud in some of their financial statements, and that all might come out. I mean, it could be Tesla goes totally bang. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Elon Musk is just a perfect genius who only has good ideas. I think he's flawed. And I think it's weird that the thing about wanting to have so many babies. I mean, I can understand, I guess, but it is kind of weird.
What does he say about that?
Well, he's trying to just have as many babies as possible by multiple women. kind of like Genghis Khan.
Elon Musk is doing that?
Yeah. Yeah, he's had like
how many
10
does he have?
kids or something.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
with, like, a bunch of
overlapping with multiple women?
Amber Heard's kid is Elon Musk's kid.
I
From
didn't know
some
any of this.
frozen embryo they had. And then he had 2 kids with one of his employees, and then he had 2 kids with then Grimes has a couple of kids with him. I mean, the guy's like, he gets around. His sperms get around.
How many of these people is he having sex with?
A good question. Because sex is old. Like, you don't do that anymore to make babies. If you have money, you don't have sex anymore. Not to make babies, at least. That's all done. And that's all done. Like, if you have money, I'm just saying, like, the modern way to have children is to have somebody else carry the baby and everything. Just pay for it. Then you don't have to deal with the pregnancy and all that stuff.
Wow.
That's what people do. A surrogate.
I'm so blue pilled on all this shit.
You're blue pilled? You mean like you don't even know that that's the way things work now?
I had no idea that they
Celebrities don't even get pregnant anymore. They just have a surrogate. They just pay somebody to carry the baby. Yeah. That's what they do.
No way, really?
Yeah, genuinely. Like, that's the way people have babies now. It's the modern way.
Wow.
Yeah. In the future, and that'll be the way, pretty soon. And now there's all these designer babies too. You can choose different traits and stuff.
Well, I thought they said that was bad.
But people still do it. People are still doing it, especially rich people. So I don't know. I might want to have a baby one day.
Would you do a designer baby?
Maybe a designer. If I could design out the flaws and just design in the good parts. But if I could I'd design it not to be so messed up. I designed it to have like the positive qualities only, exclusively.
I feel there's like a Black Mirror episode about this.
Probably, but it's true. It's true.
With like a lesson we should have taken from it and didn't.
What's that? A lesson to be learned from it?
Like trying to breed out the flaws from humans.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's interesting. It's interesting to think about things like that. Like, it's interesting to think about human or psychological issues like schizophrenia, for example. It's interesting to think about schizophrenia as a like, what are the benefits of it? Because what they say is that if it really was totally bad, this is what people say, is if schizophrenia was totally bad, then it would have been selected out by evolution. Like, basically it wouldn't happen anymore if it was all bad. So obviously there's something good about it for it to occur in some percentage of the human population. Like, there's something evolutionarily advantageous or something. So,
right, even if we consider it a flaw.
Yeah, even though it's bad, because maybe in some cases it's kind of good. Like, there's that mathematician who was so smart. They made that
John
movie.
Nash.
Yeah, he thought the aliens were after him, or he thought they were communicating with him through secret messages, but he also came up with game theory. So, and he got over it. Like, he was schizophrenic and he got over it.
The smartest people are the most tortured.
The smartest people are the most tortured. Yeah, it's possible. Like, I'm tortured, so I am smart, like on paper, and I am tortured. It's true.
That's a curse, man. I wouldn't want to be that smart.
I don't know. I mean, it helps with in some areas. Like, Andrew Tate has a high IQ. You can tell. Like, it does make you better at certain things. A lot of people who do podcasting and stuff have high IQs, it turns out. Like Owen Benjamin, for example. Look at his high IQ. It helped
Yeah.
him. It helped him start a cult. Probably most cult leaders have high IQs.
Very true.
Yeah, and they probably have other problems too.
I mean, Andrew Tate let himself get arrested by exposing a pizza box.
Not true. That's a
How
fake,
high IQ could it be?
it's fake news.
No, I
That's
saw
very
you.
fake news.
I saw you expose that on your show.
Yeah, I exposed that as fake news. I wanted to respond to Angie Power Disney in the chat, who said Cernovich also talked about choking people. Yes, that's true. He did do that. Cernovich did talk about choking people, but to be fair, some girls do like that. You know, that's the only problem. In some situations, some girls are into that kind of thing. So he wasn't talking about, but he might have been. He wasn't talking about it in the same way that Andrew Tate did and Mike Cernovich. But yeah, I would want to talk to. I'm interested in the idea that these guys became famous by giving it life advice, and then I was thinking about what I would give as life advice, and I have lots of life advice, so I've been giving it out on my show.
I like that. I've enjoyed that part of it.
Yeah, maybe I'll give that more.
You should consider an entire show where you just give advice, like an advice, like Q&A.
Yes, but then I'll have to charge. You have to charge money for it. That's the thing to
Oh,
do.
of
is
course,
you give people advice, and then you charge money for it. So, or you give them some advice. But I mean, that's what Jordan Peterson. So I was thinking of all the people who are super ultra famous, who really are famous, who started by giving advice to men, and like well, I don't. It depends on what you mean by super ultra. But like Cernovich started by giving advice to men. Jordan Peterson, I mean, his whole thing was giving advice to men. And then Andrew Tate ended up cashing in, same thing, right? So it just shows that men are suckers that are willing to pay somebody else instead of solving their own problems, pretty much.
I think it's very interesting you noticed that pattern. What is it like that? Is it that simple? Men are suckers? I mean, why is there such a market for guys who peddle masculinity?
Yeah, like bro advice. Because then you could even put Joe Rogan in there a little bit, because Joe Rogan's always telling guys to use testosterone and stuff. And so he's in there. He does lifestyle advice too. Joe Rogan does. So yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, I could do lifestyle advice. I mean, you know, I give advice that I don't even take myself, and because it's good advice.
We have an entire generation of disenfranchised young men, right? That you could
apparently
that you could.
I could tell. I have advice for incels.
That's where it is. The money's at, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if I was to advise incels, I would just say, like, women will hang out with you if you pay them, right? Like, that's what I would tell incels. I'd be like, women will you can pay women to hang out with you, right? Like, so, like, there's no reason to be an incel, in my opinion, unless, like, being an incel to me is the same as saying you're broke, pretty much. Because if you have money, you can get a girl. And so that's what I would, that's my life advice to people. It's just like, oh, well, get money and then, whatever, like people will hang out with you, take a girl shopping or something, or take her to dinner. That's what, take a girl to a nice dinner. If you tell a girl you're going to take her to a nice restaurant, she'll probably go with you. And yeah, they might be doing it for the money, but they're going to be doing it for some reason. So incels, don't be an incel.
Is it that easy? Is it really? Are you not shaming the victim here?
Who's the victim? The incel?
The incels. I mean, all these men.
They're a victim of society. Yeah, I know. They're a victim of society. It's because women want a man who's going to be a provider. Okay. So if an incel doesn't have like a job and they just play video games all the time, then they're not attractive. So you have to get a job and make some money and make yourself, and then stop playing video games and like stop watching porn all day. And like, but if it comes down to it, I mean, like I said, if you have something going for you, you can get a girl.
Even if they're watching porn all day, that I also kind of see them. Maybe that is kind of blaming the victim too. I think a lot of young men are addicted to porn. I think it's done great damage, and I don't know. I think it.
Yeah, but they could stop, right? I mean, they could stop doing it. I would just say they should limit the amount. Like, if they're gonna watch it, they should start limiting the amount of time they spend doing it because it's just taking too much time, basically.
Well, when you and I were growing up, I think you got access to porn, like maybe through a magazine or I don't know, you happened upon it once in a while, maybe. And now it's like in your face and it's endless amounts. And I think some people are predisposed to like, how some people are genetically predisposed to have alcohol addiction, Irish and Native Americans. I think there's some people that like, they get stimulated by porn, this internet porn, and it takes them down a path that they would have never gone down if they weren't sat in front of a computer at too young of an age,
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's available, but I like, what are you going to do? Ban it? You're not going to ban it. So it's like freedom of speech, right? That's the problem. So,
yeah.
So it's going to be out there. You got to control yourself. Like, you got to get productive, etc.
And you you actually had the great porn debate days. And I thought that was I thought that was important stuff. And you had a lot of interesting people calling them their takes, but it is kind of a hot button issue. And a lot of people really wanted you to stop talking about it.
Yeah. I know. That was one where it's like, because people are like, oh, we should ban it. It's like people saying, it's like people who want to ban like Drag Queen Story Hour too, which is kind of like, okay, because it becomes a freedom of speech issue, basically. Like, I think it's wrong for them to do sexual things in front of children, but I think it's possible for them to have a Drag Queen Story Hour where they don't do those things. And I think they do have some where it's literally just a guy dressed up as a woman who's reading a book, which is really weird, but not necessarily sexual and stuff. But anyway, so I end up on the wrong side of issues like that. For example, like the Drag Queen Story Hour issue. I'm not going to say like, because people show up with guns and all that. It's kind of like, yes, it's bad, but let's not shoot anybody,
You're not saying you're not saying you like the idea of a Drag Queen Story Hour. You're saying once we ban that, it's a slippery slope, and you gotta.
Yeah, I mean, it is a form of, like, I feel it's a form of performance, right? I mean, it is a slippery slope, because then what are you saying? Like, you can't watch? Are you saying you can't watch a performance of someone pretending to be the other gender? And then that's weird, because I come from theater, and men played women in theater forever, right? Like Shakespeare and stuff. It was like men who played women. And so that's not like sexualizing children or anything. That's just whatever. And then also comedies, like, comedy sketches. Men have been doing women forever in comedy. So that's not sexualizing children and stuff. So yeah, I guess if you want to say slippery slope, I guess that's what I mean by it. It's like, what are you banning exactly? Like, it's cool. It shouldn't be sexual stuff going on in front of kids. So you can say that for sure. But then to say, oh, like, this whole thing is something that must be canceled, when some people think it's cool. I mean, you can't control the way other people parent their children,
Right. Because if you outlaw a man dressing up as a woman, because that's what the law would have to be, right? Men are not allowed to dress in the opposite, or someone's not allowed to dress in the opposite gender's clothing in front of
children. Right.
Yeah, in front of a child. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Is that a good law? I mean, just to
Right.
prevent any funny business?
Then what are
Protect
you going to?
kids?
Right. So anyway,
No, I'm asking.
and then as far as porn goes, I wouldn't. So like banning porn is just, it's crazy. Is crazy. But not having it on Twitter or something, I think that's like there's a fair argument for that. But nobody gets mad when you censor. Nobody gets mad when you censor pornography. Like nobody's mad that there's no porn on TikTok or on YouTube, you know, or on Facebook. Nobody's mad about that. So porn can be censored from mainstream platforms and stuff, but it is a form of protected speech. So like if somebody wants to have sex on camera and show it to people and like sell that performance, it's certainly someone's right to do that. That's all.
Well, to think about outlawing porn, you have to first define what is porn, and that question
Right,
went all the way up.
right.
Went all the way up to the Supreme Court, right?
I'm not familiar with the case, but yeah.
They went up to the Supreme Court, and what they ended up saying is that you know it when you see it. That's the famous-
Obscenity, right? Obscenity.
Yeah. That's what
Obscenity is like depends on jurisdiction and stuff. It's like, is it offensive? To
That's what
people?
that's what I mean to say. In order to outlaw pornography, don't you need to kind of define what's obscene?
Yeah, right. Right. So yeah, I remember that though. Yeah, when I got into that topic, like people wanted me to say, "Oh, you should ban porn." That was a whole thing for a while. Oh, we need to ban porn. No, I don't think that's the solution. Like people could control themselves better, like and not watch it. I think people, I don't know, maybe people don't, I don't know, people with their addictions and stuff. I've had addictions to things, but I quit. So it is possible to quit. It is possible to not do that. So.
Do you know who Andrew Anglin is?
White nationalist, I want to say.
Yeah, that guy. He I believe that he called in when you were and you guys had it. He called in about porn when you were taking phone calls about it. He didn't identify himself, but you could tell it's his voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll send you that clip if you want to hear it off the air.
Okay. Interesting. Thanks for the likes. Go ahead and hit like on the stream. Thanks. After I got rid of Jedi, we got a few more people tuned in. So it must have become more interesting.
Yeah, you gotta give it a chance. It's experimental.
Yeah, I mean it is experimental. So people have to get used to it. It's like people have to be appreciative that there's a show. People have to be more appreciative. Oh, look, I got a few more coffees. Thanks, Elvis C, for the coffees, and thanks, Jeff Dean, for the coffee. And now
Powerful Elvis, powerful Dean. Thank you.
Yep, thank you for that. Yeah. So I'm still learning. Yeah, I was thinking I have some time during the live streaming. If you have people to talk to, is easier than if you don't have somebody to talk to. So that's why when I started live streaming daily or more often, it was with Jelena on the show. But then she quit basically. And so I've been doing it by myself. Yeah, she's got a job and stuff. So whatever. That's fine. She doesn't want to do it. That's fine. So I was just doing it by myself. But it's easier having somebody else to do the show with.
Yeah, I don't think most people would realize how big of a difference it is. Doing a show all by yourself it's a bear.
That's why it's impressive that what the people that can do it, it's impressive. Like Owen Benjamin, he's got something to talk about for like 2 hours straight every day.
Oh yeah, Mersh.
That's amazing. And then Mersh does a bunch of content and stuff.
Yeah, they could just go and go.
I know, it's crazy.
Every day.
I'm like, oh, I have to have enough material to talk about things. And then when I'm done talking about things, I think, well, that's it. Unless I take phone calls or something. But I have to get more interviews and then and then I'll think about live, and then I'll think about live stream. But your schedule, you're not free during the day, are you?
Not afternoon, work afternoon, or yeah.
Right.
To be honest, I like to limit it to the weekends, really, my streaming and stuff.
Right. Well, you have a
just
job.
Just
right?
trying to do it once a week is enough for me. I really don't know how these people are doing it every day.
Yeah, it's crazy. It takes commitment, but I'm trying to be committed. I got to make this thing work. So I got to figure out how to make it work. Got to try to get some interviews and stuff. You're a big interview.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
And you're welcome. I'm glad I could.
Yeah.
Be your big interview.
Yep.
Thanks
for being a draw. I guess live with Hoax Wars.
Yeah, as they say in the business.
Yeah.
Alex, you should have Alex Stein back on. I thought your first interview with him was great.
I don't know if he will anymore, but maybe I could talk to him but I don't know if he'll come on my show again. I could ask him since the stand-up comedy fiasco. I was going to send him a message just in solidarity that he did stand-up comedy, and then people ridiculed him for it.
Did he bomb on stage?
Yeah.
I didn't see the clip. Is it bad?
Yeah, I saw a clip. Yeah, he bombed. Yeah, from the clip I saw, he bombed. But shit, it happens, it's hard. You can't just be a stand-up comic. You can't just turn somebody into a stand-up comic who's not a stand-up comic. And it's hard, especially for him. Like normally the way you would learn it is by doing open mics and nobody knowing who you are. It's not like, oh, people know who you are and now you have to be funny, So he hasn't, I don't think he's done like open mics. Normally you do a bunch of open mics if you want to get your comedy stuff together. So he probably hadn't done any open mics. So he hadn't tried any of his material before. Didn't know if it was funny or not. And then ended up in front of an audience and it just, fell flat basically, which I can relate to. So I would give him a hard time over it.
I'm interested to see that. He got in a beef with Ethan Ralph.
Yeah, I know. Ethan Ralph went after him. Yeah, I listened to it.
Ethan Ralph was playing back a bunch of his stuff and exposing it like as staged.
Yeah. I think he did stage some stuff. Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Well, he wanted to be famous, he stages stuff. So,
man,
I don't know. What are you going to do? Give him a hard time? You could give him a hard time, shit on him and stuff, but
did he plan that out with AOC where he called her a juicy
I don't
booty?
think he called that. I don't think that was planned.
How do we know? Plans everything else.
I don't know. I
don't trust anything with this guy anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. It's good to be skeptical about people. I have somebody else joining. Should I let this person on the stream?
Let's give him a shot.
Who is it? Hey, what's up?
Yo, what's going on, man?
Nothing.
It's Harold, yo. What's going on, bro?
Hey, Harold. How are you doing?
This your first panel ever?
Yes.
Oh man, look at you, bro. You coming up in the world, huh?
This is what live streamers do, huh?
Supposedly something like that. We'll see. No, I got a chance to tell you I'm banned in your chat, man. One of your mods banned me in your chat for no reason, bro.
Oh, really?
Back when
you didn't say the K word or the M word?
Nah, I don't do that bullshit. Come on, man. Bro, you know me. I'm not gay, bro. I'm not like that. But no, it was back when you went to the truck stop. Remember when you went down there to check it out? Remember the trucker?
Somebody banned you?
For no reason. Because that was the first time that you had actually gone back live, like on YouTube. And all I was saying was like, you were like, I'm going to take the video down. I'm going to take these videos down. I was like, nah, leave it up. And they yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll check out. Where do I have to go? I know there's a place where I go to unban people. So let me make a note. Hold on. Let me get my notepad.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
What's
No, I
your
mean,
what's your username in the chat?
Harlot Shecklebond.
Harlod Shecklebond. Okay, unban.
All right, cool,
Okay.
brother. I appreciate
All
it,
right.
man. Yeah, because
All right.
like I know I wouldn't do nothing. I've known you for years, man. And
Okay.
debate. I gave you gas money that day too. I think it gave you like
Thank
$5 of
you.
gas and shit. I
Thank
did,
you. I
bro.
appreciate
It's like because you drove there. I was like, yeah, because you showed it. You were showing what's going on when everybody was walking around. You came out, yeah. You were like, oh, I have anxiety. I don't know how to talk to people, and like you went out like, well, it was funny. It was cool.
Yeah.
It's cool, man.
Cool.
All right. Yeah,
Good.
man, we'll see.
Good.
I'm
Cool,
gonna take
man.
him, but so what else is there? What else were you guys? I don't even know who's this guy in the middle? He doesn't have no face.
I know. Hoax Wars. He has a
Oh,
channel.
Hoaxworth. Oh, he had Davy Krakow on the other night, didn't he? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I think I got banned there right away too for saying at least Krakow didn't have blue stuff in his nose when he showed up this time. Oh man,
Blue
damn.
stuff.
Oh,
What blue
that was
stuff
it.
in his-
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know Krakow. Trust me. Me and Krakow go away. I have a little. Yeah, he owes me money. Let's put it at least this way. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah,
First
man.
of all, it's Krakow.
It's Krakow, right? Davy Krakow. Yeah.
He calls him Krakow. I think it's a
Yeah, it's Davy Krakow, right? Did he get that new computer yet? I mean, the Mac, did he pull that off yet? We'll see, maybe.
We're making fun of people.
Anyway, where's he at now? What slum of the bottom of the barrel? Which area is he at now? Anyway.
I don't know.
Like,
I think he's
anyway,
on
who
Odyssey.
cares about Krakow? Yeah, exactly. Loser, man.
Oh, see,
I know, right?
People are starting beef on my channel now. Look, Coach
Don't
Ward
start
is starting
talking
beef.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
It's cool though.
All
He
right.
showed up with the one guy you were talking about before I got on too. He had his zipper all down and shit, like had his little fake protest. That was a classic. See, you don't know anything about that, Nate. Nate's like, what the hell did I just step on? That's funny. Anyway,
I think if Davy Krakow were here right now, he'd call this guy a bomba clot.
well, that was the whole thing, that he would never show up because he knows I'm right. He owes me money.
Bomba clot.
Yeah.
Got it.
He would never
like
show.
that.
He has to tell him to click on the stream link. I'll hang out for a little bit. We'll bullshit about something else. Anyway, no, but Hoax Wars. You know what's funny though? One of my favorite fucking videos is all the time. I watch that shit. Yeah, when you fucking did the one with Lookner, when he was like, the science, man, the fucking science, and you see it on his face, he was like foaming out and shit. That shit was fucking funny, bro. Like that was classic. I couldn't thumbs that one up enough.
That one was good. That is
that
good.
shit was
Calling
fucking
out Lookner.
hilarious, dude. I never seen any of that shit, but like I never saw him do that because I never really watched Looking like that. But that was funny. He was like, and Trump killed fucking millions of people because he didn't trust the side. That shit was funny, man.
Yeah, it was.
I don't got no problems with you. You don't got to simp for Krakow, man. Let him speak for himself.
Yes,
all right, that's
all
all I'm gonna say to Hoax Wars. I ain't got no problem with Hoax Wars. He's all, like I just said, his fucking video is cool as fuck. So
Yes, Hoax Wars makes good videos.
these are my safety glasses. These are prescription too, by the way.
Those are cool. Those are good for like.
I wear
playing
these at work. Yeah. Don't make fun of my glasses. Who they fucking?
Yeah, I was
Damn.
watching. What was I watching where somebody was wearing glasses like that? I think it was the show Alone, where they get dropped in the wilderness. One of the guys had
okay.
glasses like that.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, those are probably sturdy. I wore glasses like that to play squash before.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you ever play highlight?
No.
Nah. That might be too much. Oh yeah.
Crazy squash though. I've been hit though before in squash, but it's not as bad as highlight. All right, I think I'm. How long have I been?
What else we gonna talk about? Now talk about something cool. What were you guys talking about before I got on? I just hopped on. He tried to change the subject.
I was about to end the stream probably, but what were we talking? But I don't remember what we were talking about.
Were we talking about the January 6th insurrection or no? That's gay, right?
We did talk.
They beat that one into the ground, like right? No pun intended.
Yep.
And,
so what do you do, Hardlid? Do you make content or anything?
Yeah, I have a channel, man.
Oh, you
do? Harlot Shecklebond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I knew it. So I've got content creators on here. Content creators, Hoax Wars, and Hardlid Shecklebond.
Yeah.
I knew I would get on content creators. Well, we'll see. I'll think about live streaming. I have to think about what to do, to make myself.
No, I think you should open a panel every night and, do your thing and have on people, whoever you want. And don't worry about what anybody else says. You know, you're the guy that's running your own channel. You got the backstage button, you got the mute button, you got the volume button, you got all whenever you feel that, boom, backstage. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Or what, you know. That's
Yeah,
what I mean.
because then I
You
could
got,
just like
yeah.
drop you out. Like if I just want to talk to Hoax
And I
Wars,
went-
I just move you like that.
Oh. I wanted to see if he had ever heard of the
Oh,
guy.
he just left. I wasn't trying to. I was just showing him that I could remove him. Hey, Harlan, no hard feelings. I was just making a demonstration. I was going to invite you back, even though I don't know. I don't know if the audience. I don't know. I have to. I could have on like I could make it really cutthroat and have the audience vote for people to stay on. Be like, oh, should I kick this person off, or should they
Right,
stay
yeah.
on? Just like the Romans used to do.
I love it.
Yeah, be great to get on Gabe Hoffman though.
I think
I'd
he
like
would do
to-
it.
Yeah, he would, huh? I could talk about it. Yeah, that's a topic I don't want to talk about, but it'd be funny to talk about it with Gabe. It'd be
I know what
funny
you
to talk
mean.
about it with Gabe. All right, I'll bring Harlan back, and then I'm going to wrap up the show. Okay. Hey, you're back.
I didn't leave. It's a new phone. I hit the wrong button. It's on the
Oh,
stream
okay.
now. It's fine, yeah.
All right.
I know Teddy. Yo, what's up, Teddy Spaghetti? How you been, brother? Teddy Spaghetti's a real one. If that's the real one. He saw some shit. Yeah, Teddy Spaghetti saw some shit.
Yep.
Yeah, man. But yeah,
All right.
yeah, no hard feelings, Hoax Wars, man. I know you had to simp for your boy a little bit, but it's all right. I mean, you probably don't really know me or the story behind anything, so you know, it's whatever. But you'll figure it out. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, we hang out to whatever. I'm sitting here drinking beer and smoking CBD. What you doing, Nathan? Here, like I got my Christmas tree up still. You want to see it?
See, I had to take mine down. All
You
right,
got a
Harlan,
real
we're
one?
gonna let you go.
All right,
We're gonna let you go.
later,
Thanks for the show. All right, we let Harlan go.
Yeah.
Very high energy. Very high energy. All right, Hoax, are you gonna stream now?
Yep.
Are you gonna have on the ghost of Adolf Hitler or anything really racist or anything today?
We're gonna try to have a toned down show.
Oh, okay, good. Tone down is good.
I shouldn't say that. I'm gonna try.
Hey, thanks for the tips over on Rockfin. Thanks, Karen Tuff. Appreciate it. Tip 20. Thanks, RC Striker. Thanks, Vogan Filter. And thanks, Michael Zygos. Thanks, guys, over on Rockfin. You guys are keeping it real. Yeah, I could open this up. This is an easier format if I could get people tuned in. So maybe some days I'll do this, but it depends on if there are people I'm interested in talking to. Because I don't know, because I watch other people do it, and then the people they have on, I'm like, I don't want to listen to these people. So I have to find very interesting people.
Well, you open it up like that, you never know what's going to happen. You got these
Yeah, I
side-
know. It's
You got
problematic.
these side characters like Halrod popping in. Now you got a new member to your whack pack, just like that.
I know. Well, I haven't joined your whack pack. You have Toasted, obviously. He's your whack packer. I saw that you did that. I saw that you basically found a whack packer.
Toasted is the man. We had a
Yeah.
great interview. We had a New Year's celebration, an evening with Toasted. It went over great.
Yeah, it was really something. He's really a character. So congratulations on finding somebody to carry your show.
Shout out to Toasted.
When you don't have content. So, all right. Well, maybe you can come on the show sometimes. We have a few people tuned in. It's always good to talk to you, but then you don't appear on camera and stuff. So that's problematic.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day. I think you're very insightful, but you don't have like a real sparkling personality.
I appreciate the honest feedback.
Yeah, like I think you could be, if I was going to give somebody an interview, I would give it to you because I think like you understand. But I also think that your personality is it's not very, what do you call it? I don't know what to call it.
Tolerable?
It's different. It's different. You got a different vibe to you.
I'm an acquired taste.
Yeah, definitely acquired for sure. So anyway, all right. So you're going to do a show, so people can tune into that. That's at Hoax Wars Live or something.
Yep. Or yeah, Hoax Wars.
People say you should smile more.
I'll work on that.
People tell me that all the time, though. I think that's one of the problems. I think that's one of the problems with my personality disorder, is I don't smile enough. So I'll try.
See, if I worked a sales job and they said put a mirror in front of your desk, and when you're on the phone, look in the mirror, and if you're not smiling like you should be, like the people can hear it.
They can hear it. Yeah, you got to smile on the phone. Yeah.
All right.
They can
Thanks
hear
for
it
the
in your
chat, Nathan.
voice. All right. Thanks, Hoax Wars, and good luck with your show tonight. I hope it goes great.
All right, man. Talk to you soon later.
All right. See ya. All right. Sounds good. And for more advice, thanks for people who support the show. Appreciate it. It's an ongoing project, so we're always trying to figure out the best way to deliver it to you. This was tonight's way. So thanks, everybody. I appreciate you. Thanks for spending time. And then you never know what's going to happen next on this channel. That's the truth. All right. I think that's all I have to say to people. So for now, and until next time, that's what it is.